Welcome to a very special Who's at the Chef's Table with Chef Dan. This week, your host, Doris WithaD, sits down with personal chef, author, and founder of the Holy Street to Light, Alessandro Coppa.
You have to run after the chicken and catch it, no?
Well,
And it has a lot of big muscles.
this part I never been like I can share. I saw how my grandmother they were kind of killing and let's say with the respect for any person into the world, they have different beliefs and concept of nature and animals. Is not a very good experience. Honestly.
Brothers and
But
sisters.
I have two brothers. But at the same time, when you eat they that kind of food during the years, starting from my childhood, where basically my sister, she was my second mom.
Okay. So you were the youngest?
Yes, I'm really honest with you because in reality, my bigger brother Matteo, he was born in the 78, and then died, the second one is 81, Lorenza 82, and after 10 years, where I was not even in the mind of my parents,
You were
mother,
youngest.
I came to this world and had the pleasure of meeting them and basically they helped me a lot in many different ways from when I was child. So it was mentioned like my sister, she was my second mother because my father with all the enterprise building was requiring help, so my mother was always helping around, and I spent my childhood with my sister, with my second brother, because already the first one for how much he loved me was already going to college. He was already like taking the visa to basically uh, projecting houses, and he was working as well with my father and
In the family business.
in the family business. But let's say from when we get all together in the experience, we were mostly always connected into family community and we always try to help each other. And of course, there's always a bit of like madness in between.
It has to be. You're
Because
Italian.
there was always, but let's say in the major situation, we were always like say it was time to go helping into the ground into the farm, so we were required to go all of them. Then
Maybe like harvest time and
harvest time was planting because my grandmother she was cutting down the onion
Mhm.
and see from the reading of a onion when it was the time to plant. And this is sound crazy.
No, it's beautiful.
And she was looking always the time when the moon, with the cycle of the moon,
Mhm.
burn. And he would bring into this day, and then we connect all this knowledge. It's reminding like your power to actually understanding how nature works. And well, we were always engaged into different situations, and we were always there to help. Of course, after after time, I also started to basically expanding myself and like starting with the work as well. So I start slowly get disconnected a little bit because I was going through my own path.
I mean, so you're blending what you knew with what you were starting to learn
Yeah.
and move on and grow and expand.
Yeah, and also when I get into the kitchen and we were working with, for example, product with pork.
Mhm.
Like my father was basically working pork and making ends, salami, sausages. So when I was kid, I was seeing all these kind of raw knowledge passing again to me, and I can say the taste of a steak pork chop really work. It's a completely different story of what you buy again into the store. There's nothing to compare. The taste, the raw, the pureness, and the ingredient itself, it with a little salt and pepper has a completely different taste. And this is how the place where I am, where I've been living, they are still like cultivating this knowledge and passing to others. Maybe fewer of, let's say, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, but still, like where I am, there's this knowledge and then for the grandfathers, they're still passing.
So there's no going to the deli.
There's because of course with the stress and the necessity of life, there's like the priority to go to daily, but still we know when we can where to get the most pure concept, the pure ingredient instead of to go to daily.
Awesome. That's awesome. I want to know. I want these addresses.
Yeah, let's see what the next trip to eat and then we're gonna all around. There's a plenty of places where we can go.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm really and truly thinking that's exactly where we need to go at some point near, soon, meaning like within the next couple of years. I'm looking at Chef.
Well,
Nodding his head up and down. I have family in Italy too, so we need to go visit for sure. And it's all about the community. It's all about listening to nature. It's all about the sun, the earth, and what we put into it.
I love what you said about the community because the make experience with food that is not born from the ingredient itself, but the community around. How people get together to enjoy the meal and to create the energy of pure and true love on sharing the bless of the earth into the thing.
And that's why we eat flowers in Italy.
Yes, I completely agree. Let's say Christmas time, you begin from the 24th until the 6th of January. You stay every single day, like my mother, grandfather, everyone. You go to party every single day, and that's why you have a holiday staying from holiday time. Because in those days, and you gain so much weight.
Yeah, but it's a part of living. It's part of the cycle,
Yeah.
right? Again, going to the moon, the cycles of the moon, and that's how we function. It's a beautiful thing. We all need to incorporate that more here in the US today.
Think globally, because also traveling around the world in many different experiences. I began from Tunis. I went to Egypt. I went to Kenya. Uh, the island of Mauritius, Greece, Spain. Like everyone, they own their food culture and it's beautiful.
Mhm.
And I think that globally, we should expand this awareness of love when we are getting together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we would gain so much more if we do that. More enrichment into our lives, more enjoyment through our families. And we would probably be happier.
Yeah, probably yes, because the secret of happiness it's appreciating what you have wrong. And
Focusing on them.
yes,
That's what we do.
of course, then there's always a different realities in life and a different story, different lessons we are facing. But in the positive or negative, there's always positive
It's true. Sometimes it's a process. And you have to go through the process to be able to appreciate it.
appreciate, understand, and to as well forgive whatever it was that to find the meaning, the pure meaning of love, of what the love means to you. Because something I understood towards my journey it was we kind of forgot how to love from one human to another. And the concept of healing with food, food as medicine, it's also for me to sharing that message of remembering love. Start to believing again in the power of love, because it's where the major transformation comes from.
What's the first time that you used food as your medicine? Was it a headache? Were you 14? Were you 10? Was it maybe sometime when you hurt yourself and maybe no one said, well, if you eat this, you're going to feel better?
Well, if you mention about Nonna, about my grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
I can say she was always going around the farm with the garlic or onion in a pocket. So every time bite of a bee was happening and accidentally, she was basically put the onion into the bite or the garlic, and after a few seconds, of course, you are going to have a finger rolled,
Of course, it'll blow from the
but
inflammation.
no more pain, and as well, for people who suffer like allergies to bite of bee, like they were putting the onion in the garlic, and it was the antiseptic, and it was the anti-inflammatory, the the natural, basically, uh, the how I can say in English, like um, to disinfect naturally, like the vitamin B, and so they were not going to shock. And close to to my grandmother, it was another example because the brother of my grandmother, she he had a wife that exactly was allergic, and the same farm as she was going to be bitten from a bee, she was put immediately the onion, so she was avoiding the shock effect to falling on the floor and go into anaphylactic shock.
Doris WithaD and SoFloDining would like to thank you for watching this wonderful interview. We would also like to thank Chef Alessandro Coppa for sitting down with us and sharing. Join us at SoFloDining.com